So we're going to get right into it. I've got a lot of ground to cover with these stats, and these stats are through the end of March. I mean, if we look at the MLS today, we're at around 1,500 homes for sale. We've kind of been bouncing back and forth between 1,450 and 1,550 homes available for sale in the Tri-County area, which is just incredibly low. But, the demand out there is what is keeping this market incredibly competitive. Prices are going through the roof, way higher than we anticipated. Inventory is being absorbed at an alarming rate. We're basically not putting enough homes on the market to kind of return to normalcy, to kind of create that balance in the market, to kind of level the playing field between buyers and sellers. So if you look at our year-to-date stats, just as a market, Tri-County area, we've put about 6,300 homes on the market, which is down like 250 homes from the same amount of time in 2020. So the new listings were down 4%. But this is what's interesting. Even though we're putting relatively the same number of homes on the market, the homes that are going under contract is up 33%. This time last year, we put 5,000 properties under contract. Year to date, we've put 6,600 properties under contract. Now, to add some relevancy to that number, the total number of homes for sale in March of last year was 5,600 properties. Now we're at 1,500. That's down close to 75%. Thousands of homes just poof, disappeared. In March of last year, we put 1,600 homes under contract. Last month, we put 2,600 homes under contract. So even with less inventory, with only 1,500, 1,600 properties available for sale, we put 1,000 more than that under contract, which is why this inventory, this market supply of month supply of inventory just continues to go down. If you look at the median sales price year to date, we are up as a market 14%. The median sales price is now $330,000. If you look at the average, which I tend to like the median number rather than the average, just because we have such a wide variety of property types and, of course, values in the Tri-County area. But the average sales price is $456,000 at the end of March. That's up 20% from $381,000 this time last year. So really just incredible numbers continue to not necessarily surprise, but reinforce just how heavily weighted the market is on the seller side of the transaction. It makes it very challenging and very competitive for buyers. Now, that doesn't mean that, if you want to sell your home as an example, you're not going to have any trouble doing that, so long as we price it effectively, market it well, and it's in good condition. But people are, kind of bottlenecked by, hey, I'd sell my home today if I could, but where am I going to go? And we're going to talk about that at the tail end of the program. That's kind of been a recurring theme on this show over the past few months is, the inventory that's out there that's behind the scenes. We call it shadow inventory, but it's just not available. You can't see it. It's not public knowledge. So when we work with folks, how do we then connect the dots? How do we create this process in which your home sells, you buy another? We give you all the options that are available, not just what's on the market, but what we can go into the market and find on your behalf. So we're going to talk about that a little bit as well, but that's just the general market. So I'm going to rifle off some data here. I'm going to, in kind of alphabetical order, go through all the different areas of Charleston, and I'm just going to tell you the median sales price, the inventory, and how quickly things are selling. So in Daniel Island, we'll just start there. Median sales price is up 19% to a little over $1 million, $1,037,500 to be exact. Properties are selling in 38 days, which is down 14%. They're getting 97.5% of asking price. The Dorchester Road Corridor, which has a combination of Charleston and Dorchester County, median sales price is up 5% to $277,000. Days on market's now at 23 days. That's down 51%. And by the way, as of March, there were only 9 homes available for sale. That's down 93%. March of 2020, we had 134 properties available for sale. Last month, 9. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Is that not just crazy? Downtown Charleston, the median sales price is up 13%. They are selling in 123 days. That's just down a few days from 128 back in 2020. And inventory is down 43%. We had 180 in 2020. Now we're at about 100. The Upper Peninsula, above the crosstown, median sales price is up 15.5% to $583,000. They're selling in 74 days, which remains basically unchanged. Inventory has almost been cut in half. We had 49 properties available for sale compared to 85 this time last year. Folly Beach, median sales price is, there have only been 30 sales, so you have to take this with a little bit of a grain of salt, but the median sales price is up 46.5%. Obviously, with more data, we'll get a more accurate read on what's actually happening to prices, appreciation there. But they sold in 23 days, which is down from 112 last year. And as of last month, there were 7 properties available. This time last year, there were 45. In Goose Creek and Moncks Corner, median sales price is up 12.5% to $305,000. They're selling in 24 days, basically cut in half from this time last year. And inventory is down 63%. There were 221 properties available last month compared to almost 600 this time last year. In the North Charleston area, median sales price is up 6%. Average days on market, 24 days compared to 36 last year. There were 47 properties available last month. Last year, this time, there were 148. So that's down almost 70%. In Somerville, median sales price up 12.5%. Days on market, 24 days. Again, about half of what it was last year. 129 properties available for sale last month compared to 506 in March of 2020. That's down 75%. Hanahan, median sales price is up 17%. It's taking, half the amount of time to sell property, 25 days. Inventory down 74%. There were 18 in March of last month. Last year, 68 properties. The Hollywood Ravenel Megget area, prices are up 15%. Days on market, 40 days. Inventory is down almost 80%. There were 80 properties last year. There were 18 last month. Isle of Palms. This is another interesting one. We've had 64 closings so far this year. Average days on market, 44 days. Median sales price is up 46% to over $1.5 million. And inventory. Last year we had 138. Last month we had 26. It's down over 80%. James Island prices are up 12%, taking half the amount of time to sell property, 27 days compared to 52 last year. Last year there were 162 properties around this time. Now there's only 29, down 82%. Johns Island property values are up 15%. Days on market, 31 days. Last year we had 224 properties. Now we have 36, down 84%. Lower Mount Pleasant prices are up 11%. The median sales price in Mount Pleasant is now $650,000. They're selling in 35 days compared to 79 this time last year. Last year we had 255 properties. Now we have 46. It's down 82%. The Upper Mount Pleasant area, anything north of the Isle of Palms connector, median sales price is up a little over 9% to $585,000. They're selling in 27 days versus 76 this time last year. Last year we had 319 properties. Now we have 62. It's down 81%. The rural Berkeley County area, we've had 46 closings. So again, not a ton of data here. Median sales price is actually down a little bit, but the average sales price is up 15%. Safe to say that prices have gone up there too. We just need some more data. Inventory of homes. Last year, 89. Last month, 32. Down 64%. Sullivan's Island. Median sales price is up 55%, but that's only because we've had 10 sales so far this year. So don't take too much into consideration there. But certainly prices have gone up, especially when you look at Isle of Palms. Last month, we had 9 homes. Last year, we had 21 homes available for sale. So another big reduction in inventory. And then really the last two, Wando, Cainhoy area off Clements Ferry Road. Average sales or median sales price is up 12.5%. They're selling in 30 days versus 100 days last year. Last year, we had about 100 properties available for sale. Now we have 25, down 75%. And then lastly, West Ashley. Median sales price is up 11%. They're selling in 28 days, which is down from 54 last year. Last year, we had 324 properties available for sale in March. Last month, we had 59. It's down 82%. So it really is incredible how much different our market looks today versus a year in the past. So we're having to be really creative in how we're finding properties for our buyers. And just because the market's really hot does not mean that it's easy. Well, I guess let me put it this way. Yes, an agent can put a sign in the yard, put it in the MLS, take nice photos, and sell a house. And that really is the reality of the situation. But when you work with an agent that really understands the market, has been there, done that, has the experience, knows how to make you money in that transaction, I will go to the grave with this opinion that an experienced agent makes you more money in the transaction than one that is not. So we're going to talk about that for a little bit. We're going to talk about just now that we have, frankly, all of these agents and very few properties and people fighting over paychecks, it's creating a lot of drama in our market. So I'm going to tell you a story or two, have you guys understand maybe what goes on behind the scenes, because that is part of what we do on this program, is kind of peel back the curtain and help you understand what the day in the life of a real estate agent is like, so that you understand as a consumer who you should be working with, what those red flags are that you see that hopefully allow you to keep looking if you run across one of these agents, and just maybe to better understand the process so that it can be as good a transaction as possible for you. That's really what this show is all about. So stick around. This is the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show here on the Big Talker, 1250 WTMA and WTMA.com. If you want to know how much your home is worth, we have a really awesome tool that will not just tell you today's value, but it will tell you things like, hey, if you were to rent it, here's how much you could rent it for. If you wanted to pay this amount more toward your principal balance, here's how much money you could save monthly over the life of the loan. It's got some great analytics. It's proving to be a really helpful tool. So if you'd like to know how much your property is worth and then kind of monitor that value over time, as well as look at those some of those analytics, feel free to give me a call, 843-400-8009. That's 843-400-8009. You can text that number as well. Or just go to listingsincharleston.com, go to the home evaluation tab, and we can get you all set up right there. You don't even have to talk to anybody. So listingsincharleston.com is the website, or if you'd like, just send me an email, brian@brianbeattyteam.com. Stick around, folks, for more of the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show here on the Big Talker, 1250 WTMA and WTMA.com.
Visit Brian Beatty's website at listingsincharleston.com. The Brian Beatty Real Estate Show continues next on the Big Talker, 1250 WTMA.